Hey kiddos.
Greetings, super friends. Welcome to the Comic Book Cover, Episode 3, Revenge of the Super Friends. Justice League 44 comes out this week.
Oh yeah.
So stoked. But,
Very stoked.
before we get to that, there's something coming up this next month that is extra cool. For any of you that are fans of Dick Grayson or Robin, it's the 75th anniversary.
Absolutely. Got with that, Batman and Robin Eternal.
Heck yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm very much looking forward to this.
Grayson's the center of the whole thing. And we're getting to see Grayson as Robin back in the day.
Yeah.
Got some
Backstory going on.
Tony Daniels is doing the art.
Tony Daniels.
And not just that, but it's leading into Robin Wars.
Robin Wars coming up, guys.
It's like a whole celebration of like Robin being the 75th anniversary.
Yeah.
But it's like the 75th anniversary of Dick Grayson, really, who was the OG of Sidekicks.
Absolutely. The very first.
Grayson, Bucky Barnes. Grayson's the first.
Mm-hmm.
He's the coolest of them all.
Absolutely.
I totally can't wait to see what's coming up in Batman, Robin Eternal, and Robin Wars. And I'd kind of like to collect the 75th anniversary Robin covers too.
Absolutely. And who's got them?
Wait. You can get them here though.
You can get them here.
That shelf has them.
Got them right over there on the shelf, guys. Or we're going to have them. We'll have them.
And if you want them, just make sure you can special order them because you can get a file here. If you get 5 or more comics, you get 25% off.
25% off.
How can you beat that, man?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how many comics you get, I mean, you're essentially getting free comics.
And that's not all. Stay tuned. We got more things coming up. But that's just to kind of start. That's to whet the appetite, get the salivation
An appetizer, if you will.
But moving on, Justice League 44.
Justice League 44.
Let's give them some demonstrations. We got a Green Lantern cover right here.
And also your regular if you don't prefer the variant.
If you don't prefer this, you can have the Jason Fabok version. So, Justice League, what's your thoughts? Where we're at with Dark Side Wars.
The way the last issue ended, I mean, you've got a corrupted Superman basically trying to kill Lex Luthor, and it's just kind of all-out war right now. Darkseid and the Anti-Monitor facing off. I mean, you've got
Mira Black.
Yeah.
The daughter of Darkseid. She's part Amazonian too.
Yeah. Well, you have a face-off between her and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and then freaking Batman. And
Batman.
the Mobius chair. He took the Mobius chair.
And he doesn't want to give that up either.
Oh no. And then the New Gods. Yeah. Anytime I've talked about the stuff, New Gods has always been one of my favorite things. Mr. Miracle's featured in this a lot, which is a huge thing. Love his new costume.
Absolutely.
Fabok did a great job with that. This is, in my opinion, this is one of DC's best stories going right now. If you're not reading this and you're a comic fan, you're so missing out, especially if you're a Darkseid fan.
If you're a Darkseid fan or if you're just a fan of the Justice League, and Jason Fabok, this is really him, showcasing his talents with Justice League. And I mean, this has been a solid series from the get-go, from the beginning.
Jeff Johns been on it from the
Johns.
start, and I mean, there's maybe been a couple of dips, but for Jeff Johns, a dip is nothing major.
No.
I mean, obviously the first story was great. Trinity War was really good.
Trinity War.
I mean, and they've gone on. They've had a lot of cool stuff, but this is probably my favorite. And I'm kind of partial to the whole Kirby, New Gods kind of thing anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, this is the thing I'm most into, because it even goes back to stuff in Crisis of Infinite Earths. For those of you who think that the New 52 did away with the old, that's not true, and this story is one of the ones that proves it.
This is kind of a story where, whether you're an old fan or you're a new reader, it's something you can jump into and really get into.
Yeah.
It's just good storytelling, great art.
If I was to recommend a DC book to somebody just coming in, I would probably pick out Justice League.
Absolutely.
That's the book to pick up. So after that, Aquaman, which I actually dropped this comic, and this is the comic that's like, man, I wish I wish I hadn't dropped that, because it was a really cool start off where Atlantis kind of turned on Aquaman. Mm-hmm. And then he found another group of Atlanteans in a different kind of, like some kind of portal thing. I didn't really get the whole explanation, but Trevor McCarthy's doing the art, and he was working on Batwoman and taking over for J.H. Williams. He'd done Gates of Gotham, He's done a lot of cool stuff.
So,
He's definitely up in his game in this particular comic.
yeah, I don't know much of what's going on with Aquaman. You obviously know more than I do, but one thing I have noticed is his change of costume, which his costume looks pretty cool.
I like his costume, and plus him and Mara wanted to kill him when 41 picked up. And this is
That's
the
pretty
issue where
interesting.
they're coming back together. So that's what, I was like, now I'm curious is what happened here. I know Garth is supposed to appear in this story too. The original Aqualad into the new 52.
Good stuff.
They brought Donna Troy in, they brought Wally Weston in, now they've got Garth in there. So
Yeah.
it seems like it's all back. It's just not the Titans we know of, but we'll talk about Titans later.
Absolutely.
Moving on, some Batman Annual.
Check that out, guys. Sean Murphy. Cover
Sean
artist.
Murphy cover, man. I'm from what I read from this one, this is going to be an old tale.
It's going to be an old tale. And we'll be able to see, Bruce Wayne back under the cowl, and it's going to be a backstory, kind of like the what was it, issue 44 of Batman with
Jacques.
Jacques and Snyder.
That's been one of my favorite Batman issues in a while, just because I love seeing Snyder and Jacques. Those of you read Witches know what I'm talking about.
Read Witches.
Jacques was also very well known for.
You can get the trade paperback now.
You can get the trade paperback now. Somebody's got it. The shelf has got it.
Shelf's got it.
The shelf's got it.
Shelf's got it over there.
Also, Green Arrow Year One with Andy Diggle, who's another great writer, and hopefully we'll be talking about some of his stuff soon. Grayson #2. So we were just talking about the whole anniversary with Dick Grayson and Robin and so forth. Robin came back to town last week in Grayson #12, kind of reintroduced himself. And Sparrow's kind of pulling the strings a little bit.
They are, but Dick is kind of
He's got
pulling
a
his
few-
own strings.
He's got a few cards up his sleeves, but he is Dick Grayson. He trained under Bruce Wayne. He's got to have a few plans ahead of plans ahead of plans. This is the issue where he's going to run into Superman. So I'm curious as to how all that's going to take, because Superman's not the same old Superman.
No, not at all. It should be pretty interesting. The last issue of Grayson was a powerful issue.
It was a great issue, and of course leading into the Batman and Robin Eternal that we're talking about. And Batman or Dick Grayson, Superman teaming up, and how can you beat that?
How can you beat that?
Then we got Michael Yanin on art.
Michael Yanin.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad is one, unfortunately, I kind of dropped off of, but I mean, we still have the same writer that started off in what I read in the beginning, the first story arc.
I love the first story.
Was awesome. So that's one, another one regretfully kind of jumped off of. I don't know, I might jump back on, and we got the annual here, and
The annual's wrapping up the current storyline Monsters too.
well, there you go.
So whatever the next issue is a good point for those.
Good jumping on point.
Yeah, good jumping on point for reading. I know that the whole Deathstroke thing that played out in the first issue is supposed to come back around too.
Well, speaking of that, Deathstroke, its next story arc after the Sky Killer just ended is involving the Suicide Squad. It's kind
Yeah.
of going back around to that.
Man, what a great issue of Deathstroke. That was awesome.
It was
issue.
pretty awesome.
The Robin issue, Son of Batman. A lot of Deathstroke was this
A lot of
month.
Deathstroke, yeah.
It's almost
Kinda
like they're
noticed
trying
that.
to push that guy or something.
I don't know why.
And maybe because there's a Marvel guy that's kind of a knockoff of him.
Maybe so.
Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson.
Wait, Slade.
I wonder where
Wade
they could have
Wilson.
got that.
Hmm. I have no idea.
I don't either. But on Superman, #44. And we also have the Green Lantern variant of this too. What's your thoughts on the Superman thing? A lot of people have been kind of...
I'm very
How'd you
much
go
looking
with this
forward
one?
to this issue. I have loved the Truth storyline going on. There's been, you kind of feel for Superman right now at this point, what he's going through.
Yeah, that last issue of Superman Wonder Woman, which I know you haven't got to read yet, but it just ends on this note with two people that, are very close to Superman. Kind of like, man, he probably feels pretty betrayed right now.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of that, like in Superman. They're touching on the relationship between Lois and Clark, and kind of delving into that, and we're kind of seeing a little bit of the backstory, how things led to where they are currently for him in Superman.
And I said in the beginning of the story, because I was skeptical of it, but I've loved it since I've dug into it, but the whole thing was going to hinge on Lois giving away a secret, and if they play that off well,
And they
then it
did.
would work. They did
I
a
think
very
so,
good job.
in my opinion.
This guy that's writing Superman now, I'm actually a really big fan. I read the article on the back of one of the last few issues where they're interviewing him and John Romita Jr., and he seems to be very enthusiastic, and he said Superman is the best superhero. He's not even one of those guys like, I like Batman better, but I like Superman too. No, he was like, Superman's number one.
That would make this guy your best friend right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying that.
I like them both equally, but, you know, come on, man. Superman just gets a raw deal.
He does kind of get a raw deal. I mean, compared to the attention and popularity that Batman has. But, I mean, it's Batman.
It is Batman. I can't argue with the fact that
Superman's
Batman's
awesome,
cool.
too.
But, you know, a little saturation on the the Batman end. Just
a little bit.
To pick up. I mean, we had Batman Day. Where's Superman Day?
We need a Superman Day. That's
Come
a good
on,
point.
DC Comics. Where's Superman Day?
Good point.
Where is Superman Day? Anyway, I guess, you know, that pretty well wraps up DC, unless you got anything to add.
I don't think so as far as DC goes, but you know, we do have some very interesting things coming up, you know, so be sure to come in and check it out.
Oh, most definitely. Batman Dark Knight Returns, which we talked about in our
Yes.
teaser video, because we didn't get to do last week's video, some technical difficulties. But I guess this is still related to DC Comics. It's kind of independent.
Vertigo.
Kind of.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's subsidiary companies.
it's DC's independent titles.
Yeah. One of my personal favorites, and I'm pretty much the only one in the store getting this one, but American Vampire. Freaking vampires in space.
Wow.
Yeah, like Skinner Sweet got sent up. They talked him into going up into space to handle a particular vampire situation. So, I mean, that's just really unique. Raphael Albuquerque and Scott Snyder is another one of those teams.
It's a great team.
Yeah, you can't
Great
go wrong
team.
with that team. And I've been following I'm not a huge vampire fan either, but, you know, it's kind of like checked out The Walking Dead, checked out American Vampire. It's like, man, this is an awesome, awesome story. And Stephen King co-wrote The Origin of Skinner Sweet, which I believe you read Volume 1.
I have read that.
That is some excellent stuff, and then, you know, you've got Pearl and Skinner Sweet kind of working together. Skinner's been talking to going into space, and it's like he's not going to come back. But of course he's going to come back. He's the American vampire. He can't die.
It's probably the first time that's ever been done, vampires in space.
I know. I mean, and leave it to Scott Snyder to come up with something cool and unique like that. And he has done a great job, especially is it Lost Nightmares? It's one that Dustin Nguyen did the art.
Okay.
And it had Dracula in it. Man, you guys need to check that one out. That is one of the coolest Dracula stories ever.
Sounds pretty awesome. All right.
We're back again. Marvel Comics.
Back again on Marvel.
Do you want to tell them what the next one is, Josh?
Captain America White, #2. If you haven't read the first issue, we have it here. Go ahead and jump on it.
Man, you need to be reading this comic.
You need to be reading it.
Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale.
Tim Sale.
The color series. I
The
mean,
color series.
Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray, Spider-Man Blue.
Spider-Man
There's some
Blue.
more. Hulk. I said Hulk Gray.
Yeah, you said Hulk Gray. We got Hulk
I think there's
Gray.
another one in there too, but I'm just.
You know, it almost feels like there is. No, I think you.
Maybe I covered it all.
I think maybe
Yeah,
you
but
covered it all.
Then there's just Batman: The Long Halloween, Batman: A Dark Victory, Haunted Night, Superman for All.
Some of the greatest, like, classic Batman stories.
It's almost like you could throw up a ball and have a bat and hit it right out of the park every time. Well, at least if you're Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
If you're Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Yeah, if you're Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, you can do it. Not me, of course, but
If you've never had the opportunity to read any of their stuff, this is a great title to jump on.
oh, most definitely. We had the Howling Commandos. We had Sergeant Nick Fury.
Yep, got to
So-
see him back in his youth, you know,
back
before,
in his younger, feisty. I don't
before
really.
the eye patch.
Yeah, yeah. He's not really the most likable guy. He's kind of giving Steve Rogers a hard time. But then again, so's Bucky. Bucky's giving Steve a pretty rough time.
Yeah, which it seems like, you know, we're kind of getting that classic Captain
Oh,
America.
most definitely. It's
when
like,
he first, you know, becomes Captain America.
it's his pal, Bucky.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a teenager in the army, which is, you know, like nowadays it would never happen. But back in the day in the comic book, it was like, sure, we can have a teenager running around dressed up in yellow and green. Sure, we can have a teenager in the
Why
army
not?
with Captain America. Why not? It made all of his kids feel like we could be Captain America or
could be
Batman's
his
best friend.
sidekick.
Yeah, it was just like Bucky
fight
and Dick
alongside
Grayson,
him.
man. I mean, this episode's all about the coolest sidekicks. And it's a good Bucky story.
That is a common theme,
It
isn't it?
is. It is. Pre-Winter Soldier Bucky, too.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I was blown away by the first issue.
Most definitely, man. And it was an extra thick issue. It had the zero.
You
issue
had
that
the
came out.
number 0 that came back out in 2008.
Yeah, it
what?
was very-
7.
This
7
story's
years
been in
ago.
the planning for a long time. It just
Yeah.
has, of course, Jeff Loeb has moved over to doing the television. Those of you watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. know his work. Daredevil. He's
Yeah.
doing, you know, that's his thing now, so he doesn't get to write as much.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity to check out his stuff. If you
This
haven't.
guy wrote Batman Hush, man. Come on. You need to be buying this book. Speaking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the last issue of our 50th anniversary of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Cavalry, Agent Melinda May. And, I mean, come on, dude. That girl kicks some butt on TV.
Yeah, you know, I haven't really kept up with the show. I hear great things, and I've been noticing with these 50th anniversary issues how they're incorporating characters, you know, from that are in the show. So you watch the show. I mean,
technically tonight, as we're talking about it, it's probably airing, and I'm missing the first.
You're
episode.
missing it.
I'm missing it. I'm here talking to you guys about comic books and trying to get you to buy the Cavalry. Now you have to buy that Cavalry.
This guy's making sacrifices for you.
For you.
For you.
Just so you can know about this comic book. So buy the Cavalry issue. Speaking of comic books, I kind of a spin-off of one of our personal favorite writers. E for Extinction. That's my X-Men pick. If I didn't get very many of the X-Men Secret Wars ones, but I wish I bought this one in Years of Future Past.
Yeah, that's a great comic. I actually just read the last issue of that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I have to say, in the stuff I've read, like Inhumans, Future Imperfect, and what was the other? Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk.
They all have these endings where it's like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
So that's a twist at the end.
Yeah. And I think the Inhumans one was the best one because it's like, man, you could only reach to the page and smack dude in the face. Like, man, that's wrong. Torturing people. Torture. It's like a Method Man song anyway. Yeah, E for Extinction, based off the Grant Morrison run of X-Men. Chris Burnham, who did a lot of work with Grant Morrison's doing the writing. He's doing the covers. Xavier's sister, even on the cover of it. So why not read this one? Why not? There's some cool stuff that happens with Magneto in that story. That's why you should read it.
Magneto, one of my favorite Marvel villains.
Oh yeah, and this is one of my. I liked it. Some of the other fans kind of criticized that run, but I really liked it. I thought it was a cool thing to do with Magneto that hasn't been done. It's not like he wasn't still Magneto at the end. So I would highly recommend the E for Extinction. I know I'm saying that I haven't read it, but I want to read it.
You know, Chris Burnham and Grant Morrison working closely together, and him writing this, and it's a spin-off off of some of the work they did. You know, usually it stays pretty true to the original.
I would expect this to be really close, and everybody that I've talked to that has read it, and they all say it's good.
Yeah.
And that it sticks with that, has that feel that the Grant Morrison one had.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Just pretty unique. He was almost like a trippy version of Chris Claremont's X-Men. It's the best way I would describe his run. Have you been reading
MODOK, Assassin? No, I have not read it. We do have a few guys subscribing to it, and they talk great things about it.
Chris Yost writes.
You got Chris Yost, yeah. He's done a lot of great stuff. I mean, he wrote on Red Robin.
I particularly liked his run of Red Robin. Yeah, I mean, it was like him and Fabian
Macizia.
However you say his name. He's a great writer. He's doing Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I would probably read that, but I'm kind of an art snob.
Yeah, as am I. I kind of think you need a good writer and a good artist to make a great comic book.
Fabian's definitely a great writer, though.
Yeah.
And Chris Yost is, too. And a lot of people have told me that MODOK Assassin's pretty fun, and he's a funny character. Some of his parts in, was it Battle World?
Battle World.
Yeah,
Battle World,
Battle
number
World.
1. Hilarious.
Joshua Williamson.
Yeah, Joshua Williamson, writer of Birthright, Hellbiter. This guy's going to be writing some stuff coming up in Marvel, some more stuff. He's going to be doing the What If titles. That is definitely something to check out.
And in a Marvel's coming up kind of thing, they had Jeff Lemire was announced to be writing Moon Knight. There's a Black Panther coming out.
I saw that.
There's a few other things. I'm still sitting here like, when's your Punisher announcement?
Yeah, where's Punisher?
I want Punisher.
Where's Punisher, Marvel?
Come on, guys. You're even putting him in the Daredevil show.
Yeah,
Why can't we get some Punisher?
Great opportunity. Bring him back.
Nathan Edmondson did a great job, and the guy before him, Greg Rucka, did. That's still probably one of my favorite runs, period.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the way he was introducing that, and that same team is doing the Star Wars Force Awakens comic. Or Shattered Empire, actually.
Shattered Empire.
Just saying, guys, I mean, there's plenty of stuff you could be buying. You just need to come down here and get them. You get them. You get them.
Save some money, too. 25% off.
We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about our From the Vault comics, because it's plural this time. I actually brought this with me just to talk about them.
Sweet.
Heck yeah. From the Vault.
From the Vault.
What do you know about this particular run?
Oh, gee, I don't know. What have we got here? In this particular run, we had the first appearance of Nightwing.
And that would be this little daddy right here.
There you go.
You know what else is interesting about this particular issue, Joe?
What's that?
It's the origin of Deathstroke.
What?
Yes, I'm not joking.
The
It is
first
the origin.
appearance of Nightwing and the origin of Deathstroke.
Yes, it's very true.
It's pretty awesome.
That's like this is one of my prized possessions, by the way, because this is the first appearance of Nightwing, the origin of Deathstroke. Duh.
Pretty good stuff there.
Deathstroke, I believe, appeared in issue 2.
Yeah.
And this is the culmination of the story that was started, because not only did Deathstroke debut there, but a lot of people don't know that Hive debuted in that issue too, which was used in the the new 52 run of Teen Titans a lot.
Yeah.
Also,
In the show.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
the show.
I mean, it's incorporated in the show as well.
This is written by probably the Teen Titans team.
Yeah.
Marv Wolfman,
George
George Perez.
Perez.
It also brings in Tara Markov, who's the sister of Byron Markov, the Geoforce. He was in The Outsiders, and he's been in the Justice League.
Yeah.
He played an interesting role in Flashpoint, if you read it. If you watch the movie, then it's Captain Atom, but in the story, it's Geoforce. He's the prince of his own country. His sister, they can affect the Earth. She was Tara Markov, ends up being a spy working for Deathstroke and Hive. And at the time, Wally West and Dick Grayson kind of retired.
Yeah.
They're not really active Teen Titans members, but the whole group of Titans get betrayed by Tara. So Dick Grayson, who was Robin, decides he's going to be Nightwing now, dons his new outfit, and they go and save the Titans. And unfortunately, Tara dies in this issue. Well, not in that issue, but at the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is a classic. And Marv Wolfman and George Perez were building this from issue 2, which this starts in issue 42. So, back in the day where we really waited for things to pay off. These days, I don't think you can get away with that.
No. 40 issues.
I'm kind of surprised, though, because Brian Azzarello stretched it for how many?
Wow.
30-something.
30-something.
Yeah. It was pretty much 3 years.
Yeah. And you kind of
Maybe.
had the same deal with Rucka when he was doing Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Rucka had a really long, good run.
From like 200 to 230, so he did like 30 issues on that. So.
Wonder Woman's had a lot of sporadic things, but I think, and George Perez, of course,
Yeah.
did a great Wonder Woman run. But and since Azzarello took over, and now Meredith Finch and David Finch has done really well. Unfortunately, I don't feel like the Titans now holds up to the Titans then.
No, but it's Marv Wolfman, George Perez.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to meet that. I mean, it's so bad that when they did Deathstroke 0 and Rob Liefeld did that issue,
Yeah.
you could set that issue next to, 44 of Teen Titans? Yeah, 44. And look at the scenes, and it's like he used the same scenes. Like, it blocked the same and everything.
Wow.
I mean,
I remember you telling me.
yeah,
about
and
that.
I'm not out to like totally criticize Liefeld because I think he gets a hard time. He does draw a lot of pouches and a lot of gun belts, but he also created Cable and Deadpool, and I might rag on Deadpool here and there for being a Deathstroke wannabe.
Ultimately,
but
he's
funny.
a pretty cool character.
Yeah,
he's funny. He doesn't even take himself seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I like Deadpool.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Anything else we want to talk about? You mentioned that we have the file system.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Money Tree, you can buy back issues.
Money Tree and get back issues. We kind of have a deal with that too. 10% over there on back issues.
You know what I saw over there when I was over there?
What'd you see?
I saw the last issue of Final Crisis, the Superman cover. It had J.G. Jones. It's actually in one of our videos.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're looking to find that, it's like if me, when I collected Final Crisis, like I got to get all the J.G. Jones covers. And they're the hardest ones to get.
It's kind of a heaven, like a paradise for, people out there trying to complete their collections.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got some old Avengers, and I'm going through the warehouse and finding more things, and I showed a few in the video. But
Old Avengers, Batman. I mean, we even got some rare comics that are hard to find over there. Gotham City Sirens, that sort of deal.
There's 2 in particular that I'm going to put in next week's video. It's
Looking forward to
number 1 and 2. And considering it's Halloween next month, so...
Well, hey
things
guys,
set aside for that. So
gonna have to stay tuned for that.
definitely need to check out next week's video so you can find out what that from the vault is. And, just to say, I bought that number 44 of Teen Titans that I showed you at the Money Tree. So, just, you just happen to go in there and look up and like, wow, I've always wanted that comic. And that was literally how it was. I was just like, man, I want to find that first issue of Nightwing. Walked in the money tree, looked up, and there it was.
Wow.
And it was for a reasonable price, too.
Very reasonable.
They had it. They had it,
Yeah.
They had it. It was
They
on the
had it.
shelf.
They had it.
They had it.
Them.
Money Tree.
Money Tree had it.
They had it. Just saying, they had it.
Just saying. I think we have some year one over there, some single issues, $5 each.
There's some Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb, the Haunted Night stuff that got collected in the Haunted Night book.
If you're a collector and you've never been in there, good reason to stop by and see what you can find.
I see cool stuff every time I go through there.
I do too.
So what's the story on Magic this week?
Story on Magic this week, we're going to be hosting a free event, no entry fee, standard prizes, first place, 5 booster packs, second place, 3, third, 2, and we're even going to give a prize for 4th, 1 booster pack. So
And even if you get 4th, you get a booster pack.
yeah,
That's
so I
pretty
mean,
cool.
you don't even have to be in the top 3.
All you got to do is show up, play. Really.
Show up, man. We also
Probably gonna
offering
get something.
25% off snacks and drinks. We have some tasty treats here, guys.
There
so.
are some tasty treats here. And if you didn't know, BME is the place known for having tasty treats.
Absolutely.
Just ask Mike when you come in the store.
Make sure to ask Mike.
Make sure to ask Mike. Or Keith.
Or Keith.
So next week, guys, will be a special episode. I'm not going to say yet, but it's episode 4. So you put it together.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.